All right, we've got a bit of an update today, and if you remember the patent infringement lawsuit from about a month and a half ago, from Nintendo against Palworld, as you know, Pokemon with guns basically, pretty fun game all around, but it feels more like Ark Survival in that aspect. But anyways, um, so as you know, there was a bit of a lawsuit concerning some patents. Now, at the time this happened, people weren't entirely sure. There was speculation on some of the patents that Powell may have been infringing upon. But as with this update today, we actually understand exactly what is going on with these lawsuits, or with these patents. And so I'm just going to read quickly what Pocket Pair said about the lawsuit, and then we're going to look at the patents ourselves and come to a conclusion. So here we are. So details of the lawsuit. The plaintiff claimed that Palworld, released by us on January 19th, 2024, infringes upon the following three patents by the plaintiffs and are seeking an injunction against the game and compensation for a portion of the damages incurred between the date of registration of the patents and the date of filing this lawsuit. Okay, so here we have the three patents. Here you have number 7545191, and then we have patent number 7493117, and then there's 758. And so here's the most important part, by the way. It says summary of the claim: an injunction against Palworld, payment of 5 million yen plus payment damages to the Pokemon Company, and a payment of 5 million yen plus late payment damages to Nintendo Co. Ltd. We will continue to assert our position in this case through future legal proceedings. Please note that we will refrain from responding individually to inquiries regarding the case. If any matters arise that require public notice, we will announce them on our website, etc. Okay, so the basic gist of what's going on here is, so we have some patents that apparently Pokemon owns, and I'm going to be real with y'all on this one. When it comes to video game patents, this is some of the stupidest ideas I've ever heard in my life. And the reason why it's stupid is because it doesn't matter what game you play, it borrowed something from somebody else. It doesn't matter what it is, unless you're the first Atari that, had the joysticks and you were playing Pong, maybe. But even Pong is inspired off of other stuff. So, you know what I mean? So the idea that Nintendo patented, not the Pokeball itself, but the mechanic of hitting something or catching a monster in a ball is a bit of a stretch. I'm sorry. And it's kind of like the concept of what's the idea? It's my favorite one, the Souls-like. Okay, when I see people call a game a Souls-like, it actually gives me a headache, because to me, how do I put it? It makes it sound like Dark Souls invented respawning checkpoints, or what you call it, or fighting a boss over and over again. Yo, listen, okay, if I show you footage from Ninja Gaiden back in the day, those games are not easy. Or hell, we can go the OG Mega Man. Okay, you had checkpoints in OG Mega Man. Did the Dark Souls copy of Mega Man? What? So imagine that. Imagine From Software, Bandai Namco patented the bonfire or the site of grace or checkpoints. You see how dumb it sounds? Duh. So, and the funniest part is that games could always build off of other systems. So I don't understand why Nintendo wants to hold this whole idea of catching monsters in a ball, when capturing monsters has been around since other games. Okay, there are games that also captured monsters before Pokemon. I think Dragon Quest might have had some, but don't quote me on that. But you get the point. So I don't understand what this whole what Nintendo was smoking. I don't know what their lawyers are cooking. But without further ado, let's actually look into this lawsuit ourselves, because it's not really Let's take a look. Okay, so our first patent that I have here up for you guys is the one that goes under JP75451991B1. Okay, and so in the abstract, roughly translated from Japanese, so take it with a grain of salt as you will. So it says here, provide a game program, game system, game device, and game processing method that can cause a player character to perform various types of actions on a field in a virtual space. Solution: in a first mode, the aiming direction in the virtual space is determined on a second operation input, and the player is caused to fire an item that affects a field character arranged on a field in the virtual space. in the aiming direction based on a third operation input and in a second mode. The aiming direction is determined based on the second operation input, and the player character is caused to fire a combat character that engages in combat, and the aiming direction based on the third operation input. Alright, so if I'm understanding what's going on, so the concept of maybe firing a Pokeball and having a monster fight for you is what it seems like. And if you look at the images here, which give us a bit of a better idea, if we keep going, scroll by this one, scroll by this one, or by this one, by this one, by this one. Here so here's the input where you have, the player is holding the creature and you see something in the wild, you see the Pokeball in their hand. And then if we keep going along, we see, they captured, or, well, it's like, it says nice, or the Pokemon gets away, in this case. And as you know, in Palworld, you actually can do that. And even here, where I'm showing you on screen, there's also the idea where they have another monster that's fighting with you on the battlefield as well. And then we keep going here, it's a versus battle, the classic, I'm sorry, but you get the point. So that's essentially what this is showing here. So now, like I said, Pokemon is not the first game to do this. So maybe this one Nintendo can probably get away with it, but it's still a stretch in my opinion. All right, now if we go to the next one, we have JP7493117B2. So this one, it says simulating properties or motion of objects in a game world, e.g. computing tire load in a car race game using determination of contact between game characters or objects, e.g. to avoid collision between virtual racing cars. This is under the simulating properties and blah, 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 blah. So now if we look at these again, as I'm going to show you, it's still the same idea where you have the Pokeball and then you keep going on. It's still the same thing. We're still going. It's the same concept. Unless there's something new added here, but I don't see it. It's the same. Makes no sense. Hey, it looks like Dragonite. Now, something I should take note of as well is the fact that these applications have been updated, or like these patents have been updated since 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and then, well, 24 is up until today. And so what I'm understanding is that Nintendo's really trying to, hammer home that, listen, only we get to do the whole capturing monster thing from a Pokeball or something like that. Because I want you to keep in mind that if Nintendo was going to sue Palworld over like character design, they would have already done it. Like when Palworld was announced, it would have already been done. So the fact that they didn't sue them over that means Nintendo is going to try to get every nook and cranny of whatever it is that they're looking for. And now on to the last one that we have here. So we have JP7528390B2. And as you can see here, if my computer decides to work properly. So computing the motion of game characters with respect to other game characters, game objects, or elements of the game scene, e.g. for simulating the path behavior of virtual soldiers or pathfinding. So if we look at these pictures here, you have, I guess, the concept of an open world. And then if you go again, what's this? You have mounting characters? You can literally ride your characters in certain zones? Is that what Nintendo was trying to patent? Alright. That's funny because hate to tell Nintendo this, but RPGs have been doing this for decades. Like, they have been doing this for decades. Like, mounting creatures in order to traverse the land, that's literally been a staple for like the longest time. Because imagine you patent a mount and then you have to physically walk across the game world because of that. What? Does that even make sense? I can't believe they actually they said they patented that. Wow, that just shows you like Nintendo is actually just mad greedy. But anyways, so the question is like, would Nintendo do this to somebody else? That's debatable. But anyways, okay. So from what I'm understanding, to me, okay, the reason why Nintendo is going to go after, say, Pocket Pair over a different game that has an RPG world is because, guess what? Pocket Pair is one, direct competition to them in Japan. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that this is also a smaller company. So Nintendo can afford to have a longer legal battle compared to, say, I don't know, they try to go after maybe Activision Blizzard, or try to go after Sony. Like, Nintendo knows they're not going to really win that. Or even if they do win, the amount of money that they spend in order to win that case isn't worth the long run, isn't worth the fight. That's why they can send cease and desist after certain organizations. That's why they can, strike down certain videos when you mod their games. That's actually why I refuse to play Nintendo games, at least like on stream and stuff, because not a good idea. But anyways, the point is that this is where you are when it comes to Nintendo. So to me, this just hurts like games as a whole, just because, one, the way that games will ever evolve is that they have to build upon systems. And so when somebody patents a system, which is really dumb in my opinion, you're just hindering games from being really good. Because what one developer might have a vision for, I don't know, flying in the air, this other developer might be like, okay, you know what, we can fly in the air, but we can shoot rockets. And I'm just shoeballing here, okay? But like, you get the point. So I find this just hurts the industry as a whole, and Nintendo has been known to be greedy, and so this doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Okay, there's no surprise for me and Nintendo. Actually baffles me how they're still so greedy. But anyways, yeah. So that's basically the update on this entire case. I find that they're just trying to drain pocket pair for their money, and that's what it feels like to me. But anyways, let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments below. Did you ask the question how? Because that's the question I've been asking myself the entire time I've been here. So it is what it is. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow my social in the description below. And yeah, that's it. I'm out.